Welcome to an AVAX update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And AVAX is, looking okay in my opinion. Now, I don't know how many people are going to watch this video and I don't know who will watch this video. I mean, probably the people who are subscribed to the channel and not, any other people because, it's literally dead. It's not dead. The altcoin is not dead, but right now it is down quite a lot. So I don't think people care about it in this moment, meaning that, this will most likely only be watched by my subscribers, which is good. If you don't know what AVAX is doing right now, this is just a very big ABC structure, and I think I told you in my previous AVAX video, which was probably like 50 years ago, that if we do not hold support level in this 1-2 setup here, we will most likely invalidate it and get another low, which will be perfect for a C wave, and it looks like that happened. Now, we almost got to the 0.786 support level, which is not the best thing in the world. We are actually at the 0.6181 right now, and well, it's a pretty deep correction, and I want to teach you something in case you don't know this already. I'm gonna teach you what FOMO actually means, and if you don't know what FOMO means, it means fear of missing out. Now, what does that have to do with this video? Well, the people who want to, know about AVAX probably bought when it was going up right here and not when it was going down. I do not really think that people actually bought AVAX here or here. Many people were talking about AVAX when it was going up here, and when it was going down they stopped talking about it. And by many people I'm talking about the crypto YouTubers who just want to sell you stuff. So yeah, what you need to know about AVAX is that it's still alive and it's still looking pretty good, but we have a chance of getting another low and maybe getting to the 0.786 support level, and I'm gonna tell you why very soon. But first, let's actually talk about what's happening in the long term, and let's see the weekly chart. The weekly chart is actually looking very good in my opinion. We have a very big 1-2 setup here. The second wave is most likely in, but we could get another low, and I will tell you why soon. And as you can see on the weekly RSI, we actually got rejected by the moving average, and this basically tells us that we will most likely get another low soon. And until we get above that, I cannot confirm that the low is in. And obviously, I cannot confirm that the low is in until we get 5 waves up. And that will only happen if Ethereum actually starts going up. Now, speaking of Ethereum, I'm going to talk about that soon. But let me actually continue with the damn wave count. So we have a 1-2 setup. The target for the next wave, which is the third wave, is at $491. Now, is that possible? Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. It's very unlikely. But, the 1.618 is also a good target. That's at $227. I know that probably sounds ridiculous right now considering we are at about $18, but the same thing could have been said when AVAX was down here at about $8 and then it went up to about, let's say, $60 in a matter of like 3 or 4 months. So something like that is definitely possible, especially when Bitcoin dominance starts going down. I'm gonna talk about that as well. So yeah, that's what you need to know about AVAX. We are still looking pretty good, but we have to get back above the moving averages on the weekly first and then on the monthly as well. As you can see, we are below it right now, and after we do, we could be looking at AVAX above $200 by the end of the year, but that's just my opinion. Maybe it's gonna be wrong, and we'll have to see what happens with that. Now, I have to look at Ethereum. I know people already know what I'm gonna say, but on the weekly chart, if you look at the RSI on the Ethereum chart, and if it actually loads this time, so it's not okay, if it loaded, so basically we are almost oversold on the weekly chart, and this is a very bullish thing. Even though Ethereum is down like a lot, it's down from like $4,000 from December, and right now we're at about, let's see, about $1,500, and people are obviously extremely bearish because this is not normal. However, it's actually extremely bullish because it's almost oversold on the weekly chart, and it has only been oversold 2 times in the past. And as you can see, for example, in 2022, this was a bear market low, and even in the short term, Ethereum went up like 62% in 28 days after finding a bottom and after getting to the oversold territory on the weekly. And in 2018, it's the exact same thing. We got to the oversold territory, we closed the wick there, and then we went up about 100% in the next 28 days. So I think we're about to get a very big bounce, but I'm still expecting another low because we are not oversold yet. Now, there was a comment on my Cardano video yesterday yesterday. I know this is not a Cardano video, but there was this comment right here which says that we can get to the oversold territory without making a lower low in the price, and this is actually correct. However, this will only happen if Ethereum only gets to like, let's see, about $1,400 again, and if it does get to that level, that will most likely put us in the oversold territory. But please do not forget, if we get to the oversold territory, that will not, instantly confirm that the low is in. We will have to close a wick below that level, and honestly, I mean, we could even go lower than that just because Ethereum is doing Ethereum things right now. So getting to the oversold territory doesn't necessarily mean that the low is already in. Now, getting to the oversold territory does not necessarily mean that the low is in. It only means that the low is close to being in, and you have to be aware of that. So if Ethereum actually drops even more, and if it drops to like $1,400 again, then AVAX will most likely drop as well, and that could put us at the support level right here, which is 0.786 support level. So this is why AVAX is not looking too good right now. It's because of Ethereum, but like I said, Ethereum in the past, after it got to the oversold territory on the weekly, it bounced quite a lot, and it went to all-time highs, the years after. So right now, I think it's gonna be the exact same thing, which means that when Ethereum actually gets a bounce, AVAX will most likely do something like this, and it will be the perfect time for the altcoin season to start. The altcoin season, by the way, that I've been talking about for many months now, and it has not started yet. However, that does not mean that it will not start. If you look at Bitcoin dominance, it's at 64% right now, and I think it has a chance of getting to 66%, especially if we break above the trend line right here. And if it does, I think that will finally help Ethereum find some kind of bottom and get to the oversold territory on the weekly. And after that happens, please do not forget what happened in the previous cycle. After Bitcoin dominance went up for years, it dropped quite a lot, and it dropped, about, let's see, about 30-something% in like 2 or 3, well actually no, this was 6 months. So I think this is gonna happen again. It happens every single cycle. I don't know why people are, complaining about Bitcoin dominance. Yes, it has gone up for way too long now, but this is okay. It's still gonna drop at some point, and I think that will happen very soon. It's also overbought on the weekly chart. Of course, that does not mean that the top is in. It only means that we are all overbought, and if we look at, the previous times when we got to the overbought territory, for example, right here, we did have a correction after that, so we'll see if that happens again or not. But getting to 66% is very likely, especially if Ethereum wants to drop again. And please do not forget, the higher we go on the Bitcoin dominance chart, the better the altcoin season will be, because Bitcoin dominance will have to drop to the trend line right here, and I think it will drop to the trend line, and it will most likely drop to about 41% dominance. And if we drop from like 66% dominance all the way down to like 41% dominance, that's a 25% drop. Please do not forget what happened when Bitcoin dominance dropped from 61% all the way down to like 54% back in November. If you look at what AVAX was doing back then, as you can see, we went from about $17 all the way up to like $53, and during that time Bitcoin dominance only dropped like 7%. Now imagine what happens when Bitcoin dominance drops like 25%, and imagine what happens with AVAX during that time. It's obviously extremely possible to get to these target levels. Now you can pretty much forget about the other two targets. I'm just gonna get rid of the 2.272 and the 2618. I don't think we're getting there, but the target right now, at least for a top, would be $227. So that's pretty much all I have. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.